It's Golf DMV, another fabulous episode of the podcast and radio show, and all over the media, by the way, as well. I mean, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, highlighting golf in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and beyond. Brought to you in part, by the way, by Cachet Spine Sports. Check out the website, CachetSpineSports.com. Cachet spelled C-A-S-H-A-E. Spinesports.com, the official chiropractor, by the way, of Golf DMV.
Do they have a phone number?
Not prepared to. Oh, yes, they do. 240-219-8974. I'll say that again, just in case anyone wants to take out a pen and a pad or their cell phone. 240-219-8975. And that voice you heard right there about the phone number, that's LB. LB, what's up?
Hey.
We've got Vern here. Vern, what's going on?
What's happening?
And LB, by the way, have you visited Cachet Spine Sports at all recently? I mean, you've had the
It's been a couple. I went the week of New Year's, a couple days before New Year's. I went. It was my last visit. So
make sure the back was straight for the party.
Yes, yes, I needed it. I needed all of that back. So yeah, it's time. It is about time for me to go back and revisit that situation.
All right, got a lot happening today. A lot to talk about. We've got some Century Tour stuff with the Manny Millions. We got to talk about. Pete Dye passed away recently. We'll talk about him. The Sony Open, Patrick Reed stuff. Vern had some breakthrough lessons, and we'll talk about that. Well, you know what? Actually, and then you guys played at Falls Road. 70 degrees in January.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
No
Vern,
global warming. No global warming. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see
maybe
here.
the climate's changing. And so Vern and LB went out to play Falls Road. So I want to talk about in the rundown I have Falls Road first, but I want to do that second because I want to talk about Vern's lessons with Ryan Chaney over at Blue Mash.
Yeah.
So you booked some lessons with Ryan Chaney, and then we're going to talk about the round after the lessons.
Okay.
But so talk a little bit about Ryan Chaney, the lessons, and all that stuff.
Right. So I'll try to keep this brief because there's an Instagram post out there. I don't want to get the Rick situation from Claude where like 2 weeks from now he's like LB. Vern, I'm gonna shut the bleep up about this lessons. He's still scoring bad. I don't want to hear it anymore. I got it. No. So I booked a lesson with Ryan. I'd been following him on social media for a while, and like I said in an Instagram post, like his posts were unique in that they weren't, I don't know. A lot of people, I mean, instructors got to do what they got to do. They put out tip videos, but he speaks very candidly about players' abilities and what instructors need to be doing. And I appreciated his candor. And you should just go check out his page for yourself. I don't want to prejudice you. I think it's very good. It's very direct. So I like this coaching style. One, I like the things he was talking about technically. Two, a lot of very impact centric stuff.
Which has been what you've been all about.
Chasing that forever. Exactly. And so I finally booked a lesson at Blue Mash for, I think this past Friday. And I tried to book it for Monday, and he wisely said, no, Blue Mash is always 15 degrees colder than the advertised temperature, because I think it was like 52 degrees Monday.
Oh, wow.
And that was a good call by him, because Friday was supposed to be 56, and we got out there, and we were like fully bundled up with gloves on and everything.
Yeah.
So anyway, I booked a 90-minute lesson with him for Friday. I went out there, and this impact position of like a downward, like a descending blow, not to get too technical, that I had been chasing for like 7 or 8 years. I was like, this is what I want to do. He said, cool. Swing the club a couple times, swung a couple times, looked some video. He was like, all right, do this drill. I do the drill, and then like on the third one, he was like, here you go. And he shows me, look, there you go, right there. Do that 1,000 more times. I'm paraphrasing. Do that 1,000 more times. Don't mess it up. And cool. Can we get out of here? It's cold. No, he didn't say that. But basically, he got to the root of it in like 15 minutes after being there with one drill. And then after that, everything else was a discussion about the right arm and the stuff that I was working on and everything else. So I was very happy with that. I was happy again, I picked him correctly because his style wasn't, he wasn't like, you're doing a great, I don't know. Hey, listen.
That's not what you want. It's like, listen, if I'm trash, you say, this is garbage, right?
You guys were at basketball games the other day supporting Sherm, right? Yep. You notice like
Pilate High School.
A good coach knows what each player needs. Right. My dad says this all the time. Guy goes to the layup line, misses. One guy, when he misses, you got to say, hey, man, it's all right. You can do better next time. I'm not that guy. You got to come out and be like, you can be off the team if you miss the next one. So his style is a little bit different, but it worked. And this drill, he got me hitting with a downward strike like almost immediately. So I shared it with LB. After we record, I'm gonna show it to Claude, and we're gonna talk about like some of the principles behind it. But
let me say that I like that about Vern, because some guys get these tips and they
won't tell you. Right. They won't even say they're taking lessons, let alone show you anything that they've learned.
Right. They won't tell you, and then they're doing it. It's like, well, what's that? I was just working working on something. My guy told me, I don't know.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Sharing the
not.
wealth is because you don't have to. I mean, but that's.
But we would talk bad about him if he did.
Yeah, sure.
I appreciate you sharing.
And also, it's more fun when everybody's playing well.
Right.
Yeah, it
and,
is.
And did
It really
you
is.
and so you noticed the difference like immediately once you started this?
So when doing the drill, it's a little. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit difficult. Like trying to, because it's like you have to open your hand and do these chips in a sort of a weird way. But accomplishing the drill was different, and I hit like a couple of clean chips, and I'm like, okay, these feel okay. But when he showed me on camera, which you can go to our Instagram feed with Golf DMV podcast on IG at Golf DMV podcast, you'll see a picture where I put my previous impact, which is the club all like parallel and behind the ball and scooping. And like 2 swings later, like I'm hitting with a descending blow and I have that nice sort of downward strike with a little reverse K. So when I saw that on camera, again, I can't stress to you enough how many hours I've spent filming myself on the range, trying to hit this position, can't get it. And in like 10 minutes, I was like, oh my goodness. I was starting to think I couldn't do it.
It can't be possible.
Hey, I joked with Claude some time ago that I was going to buy left-handed clubs the next season and start over again.
The lefty.
Yeah, because I was beginning to wonder if I could even do it. So lessons are great. Again, if you know Ryan Cheney, I think .com. Just go at Ryan Cheney on golf on Instagram. Check out his post. His website's in his bio and everything. Just check him out. He might not be for you.
Yeah.
But
But see, Vern brings up a great point. Like, I feel like if you're going to spend a lot of money on lessons, right? I feel like the first initial thing you should do is purchase, maybe a half hour or 45 minutes or whatever with an instructor. And don't book a lot of them. Just one.
Right. Just buy one.
Right.
And just see if you guys are connecting, if you understand what he's telling you, if you know what I mean? Because there are some things that one instructor would tell me that wouldn't make sense. And then when I went to John Ross at Golf Tech, I understood what he was saying.
Right,
but it's just the way,
different styles of communication.
Yeah, you just connect with people differently. So like literally don't buy a bunch of lessons with one instructor until you're sure that this guy,
That's the right guy.
speaks your language.
Right. For me, it was like, because I had lessons in the past. It's not like I, even though I troubleshot as much as I could by myself, in previous lessons, guys would like listen to me. I'd be like, hey, impact. And I would just go through the whole spiel, yada, yada, yada. And they'd be like, okay, cool. Hit this ball. Okay. I'm gonna hit a ball and it'd be like a pull or a slice. And they'd be like, and they would just start trying to work to fix the ball.
Fix that.
Right.
And then like, I'm like, okay, cool. So we're
done
here. We're done here. Cool. He just completely ignored me. I told him what I wanted.
Right.
And he went and said, cool. This is what we're doing.
Let's start with your grip.
Yeah,
It's like,
no, he was like, no, cool, exactly this.
Yeah.
We didn't touch anything else, set up, stance, anything. So that part was good. So it was a good time, and some of the results showed today. I think LB will tell you when he starts to review the round. So
Now, one thing also, you talked about how Ryan, you were hitting a lot of things with your pitching wedge.
Yes.
And that's one thing I always wondered, like, why do a lot of instructors, and maybe we can ask one, but like the first thing they say is, okay, take some shots, warm up. Okay, take out your 7-iron. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like, my whole game needs work. Like, why are we starting there? Like, let's start a 9-iron. Let's work our way up the bag.
Right.
Why are we starting right there in the middle with the
In the middle
7-iron?
of
And I'm sure there's a reason. I mean, I'm not
Well,
distracted.
I've
I
always
don't know.
thought it was just because it's in the middle of the set.
Okay.
that's my assumption.
Yeah.
Now it shouldn't be the entire round. I mean, the entire lesson maybe shouldn't be about that.
Right.
But like LB said, if they're gonna do like, hey, I just want to get like a look at your stock swing, they're gonna pick like a favorable short iron to get it with or
Right.
whatever.
But you guys, you spent some time with the pitching wedge.
I did, yeah. He got some stock swings on the 7, and then we moved to this drill. I think to the pitching wedge, and maybe I tried it on the 9-iron, and that's kind of where we stayed. And it's
Okay.
like, basically you need to master this at the lower clubs, and then get your hand around the club, and then start moving up the bag and everything else. He gave me a whole bunch of details. There's like a coaching app he has or whatever that he films the sessions and puts them in there. And that's the other thing too. When you take a lesson, just so you know, you take a lesson with them. It's not like, one, he saved me some money because we did the drill, and then like it's cold out there, and he's like, well, cool, I can watch you hit. We got to like an hour, and he's like, I can watch you hit for another 30 minutes, but if you're good, then if you understand what you need to do, we can call it. And I was like, yeah, let's get out.
Yeah.
It's cold as hell, man. Blue match. But so one, because he couldn't let it go,
Right.
which I would have been fine with. But and then also in this app, he will continue to post notes. Like you're supposed to upload videos. He gives you detailed instructions on how he wants you to film yourself, and then post videos up into this app, and he'll give you feedback. So it's not just like a one and done. Like, cool, do this.
I'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Are you planning to do more with them?
Absolutely. I'm gonna
Nice.
get this thing down first to a point where like I think I hit a wall, and then I'll keep going.
Nice. Sounds like it was very beneficial and you enjoyed it.
I did.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Ryan Chaney right out there in Blue Mash. So from the lessons to your first round post lessons, Falls Road, Sunday morning in January, it's almost 70 degrees outside.
Yeah.
So
ridiculous.
Exactly. So
I've been talking about. I'll let LB start.
okay, go ahead.
So we got there. It was car path only. And at
Did we get a lot of rain? We got some rain.
Yeah, the
last
storm
night.
came through last night.
Right.
So yeah, actually, I will post video. By the time you hear this, there will be video posted of how soggy it actually was.
Oh.
It was very soggy.
Falls Road doesn't drain well?
Well, it rained. I mean, it
rained
was
a lot.
It was a good storm that came through yesterday. It was the one that was from. I looked at it on the map one time. It was from the Gulf of Mexico up past Maine into Canada.
Good night.
That was the length of the storm. Ooh. So yeah, the whole basic country got all of that. So it was soggy, and there is no car path only at Falls Road. You either walking or you're in a cart.
Right.
So we walked. Fortunately I brought my little pull cart with me, playing the head. So yeah, so just Vern and I. Rick couldn't go because his ankle hadn't healed, and then Reggie probably was drinking too much last night. He didn't want to get up.
He bailed out early.
Yeah, real early. So it was just the two of us, and the crowd was very sparse at least at first. When we got there, there was nobody there hardly. It was
what time was the tea time?
9:30.
9:38 or something like that.
And it was unseasonably warm for that time of morning too. It wasn't like it got hot like at 2 o'clock.
It was like 60 degrees
It was
in the morning.
warm
Exactly.
early.
Yeah. So it was a twosome in front of us, a male and female in front of us, and a twosome behind us. But we never caught the twosome in front of us, and the guys behind us never caught us.
Okay.
Yep.
So we played at a pretty good place. I think we got done at 3.5.
Yeah,
About
but less
3.5
than that,
hours.
maybe 3:15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as far as the golf itself was actually pretty good. After the first hole, we both went out of bounds. I think the first hole.
Yeah.
And after that, we was on. I mean, the drives were really good. Iron play, Vern's iron play was really on point today.
Yeah. My drives are trash, but yeah.
Mine were better. I decided today that I'm going to actually do what Brendan had told me to do 8 months ago now. So I decided
8 months after the lesson, like I'm just going to do what he told me to do.
I'm gonna try that and see if it works.
Well, the idea is he wants to like look the part when he goes to see him. You know, show off his shambles.
right. Oh, because you got the lessons coming up with him, so it's like I might as well start
Try to look
implementing
like
what he told me to do the last time I was with him.
I think like I'm doing it the whole time.
Exactly. And this is just dumbfounding, but it actually works.
How about
it? What the instructor told you to do, it works.
So a lot of my irons were very straight. I mean, a couple of them I came up a little bit short in distance wise, but I wasn't shanking and pulling stuff left and right. They normally went within 10 yards of where I was aiming.
Nice.
How about that? Who knew? Who knew? If you just follow the guy's direction, it could actually work.
We make this game so hard.
I know.
You take these lessons, we pay people money. Like honestly, and I was thinking about the other day, we spend all this money and travel to go see Paul Wilson and stuff. I can probably point out 3 or 4 things that he said. All that money spent. Am I doing it? Probably not. And even out of what he said, I probably remember 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, LB's driver was on point today too. Don't say yourself short on that. He was crushing that driver.
It was very
And you were just doing what Brendan told you to do.
Doing what Brendan had told me all along, and the driver was straight. Even like I say, my irons, I was more happy with my irons than I was with my drives today. Because my drive sometimes can be, it has its days.
Right.
You know, my irons are more fickle than my driver.
Right.
But today my irons, and I was usually in the fairway, so I'm hitting, 7, 8 irons, and they were, again, within 10 yards of where I was aiming.
Yeah.
I hit a lot of greens on my second shot. So I'm like, wow, look at this.
Nice. Looking like a golfer.
And at the start of the round, he's in his usual, in the usual mood. Like, I was like, would you keep a score? I'm not keeping score. I'm just out here.
Right, because it was so soft. I mean, the first hole,
it didn't go.
It was like, whoosh, whoosh. I mean, it was unbelievably soggy. I'm like, this is gonna be just a slosh round. Ain't no use in keeping score with this.
Yep.
And as soon as I said that, everything stopped popping.
Yeah,
nice. Yeah. How was the putting?
Putting was it was better.
Yeah.
It was better. A lot of the greens, some greens were soggy, some greens were dry.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was hit and miss. But I would take today's round any day. As far as ball striking. I'd take this every day of the week.
Nice. Feeling good about the game. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. But again, I'll go play tomorrow and I'll be back to what I was the day before.
But today we feel good.
Today I feel good.
That's all we can take. That's all we can do.
Today is a W.
So Vern, post lesson, first round after the lesson, that seemed to change. LB said you were striking them irons. How'd it go?
Striking the irons much better.
Is that a new shirt, by the way?
This one, I don't think so. I've worn it before, but I've worn like once before.
Okay, no, it's fresh. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah, so striking the irons better, and I think the biggest thing, since we're focusing on impact and the drill seems to center around like small chips and pitches and everything else, and getting your impact dialed in there, I didn't duff any of my chips. Some of them came up short. I had poor distance control on some, but no duffs at all. Because
there's some times where that's your Achilles heel, where you're driving the ball straight and your long irons are going good, and you're 40 yards from the pin.
6.
And then, it takes 2 or 3 chips.
Chip, putt.
And it's amazing how that happens, but you were feeling good about that.
Oh, yeah, feeling good. And the impact drills definitely helped the chipping. Like basically
the impact drills has helped the chipping too.
Yeah, so since it's a short swing drill, the shorter the swing, the easier it is for me to replicate.
Okay.
So on chips and pitches or whatever, I was feeling good, but it did replicate to some of the iron shots. Early on, I was dialed in hitting greens, and I scrambled like 4 or 5 times today, which is like a record for me.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's some putting help there too, but yeah. So the only thing that was off for me today was the driver. The driver was terrible because I was trying to implement some of the stuff, and maybe it doesn't work with the driver, so I'm not going to focus on that just yet. But I want to get this dialed in with the irons first. So
okay, but Falls Road in good condition. I mean, it's one of our
one
of the courses we like.
For January, it's beautiful. The greens are like brown and different color.
Of course,
some are green, some are brown,
green,
whatever. Yeah. And they apparently they just basically put 2 holes in the
2 tee boxes.
One forward. Well, in the tee box
sorry.
as well, but even on the greens, there are 2 holes, and basically they're going to alternate. They alternate the maybe that's what we're supposed to have been doing today.
What's that?
We should have been taking that flag out of the one hole and putting it into the other hole.
Really?
Yeah, that's what sometimes the winter courses, they'll put 2 holes on the greens.
Okay.
And every time you put out, you take that instead of this is before we used to play with the flag in. When you take the flag out, instead of laying it down, you would take it and put it into the other hole.
Stick it in the other hole.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea.
So basically, they have two holes on each green, and I'm assuming that's just for the winter.
Right.
That way, they don't have to keep plugging the holes.
That makes sense.
While it's out of season.
Yeah, while it's out of season.
Okay. Yeah,
that makes sense.
So but
okay. Did you guys keep score or not?
Yeah, 17 over for me.
Oh, sweet.
I didn't keep score, but I probably was not too far behind him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because I had,
if at all.
Yeah, I know I had like 4 pars in a row at one point.
Yeah.
Nice. But after today's round, you guys feel like golfers. You feel like, I'm
I feel good.
I'm
100%.
getting this.
Yeah,
100%.
I really now I want to go hit some more just to see if I can keep doing what I was doing today.
Right.
Well, it probably won't, but still, it'd be nice to dream.
Yeah.
It would be nice to dream, right? Let's move on to the Manny Millions from last week from the Century Championship because, again, at the time, they're in Hawaii. By the way, which is cool. I didn't mind golf in prime time.
Oh, I love golf in prime time.
I'm kicking back up to watching the PGA Tour now. I don't mind it starting around 6, 7 o'clock and watching into the nighttime. That's fine. But by the time we recorded last week on Sunday, the tournament wasn't over yet.
Right.
And boy, did we know because I woke up to probably 15 text messages on my phone from you guys because I didn't know. So part of what I do as far as media, there's a station that I do some early morning work for. And so I'm up usually at 3:45. And so so I went to sleep before this was over.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I'm looking at all this stuff, Patrick Reed and JT and then we'll talk about what one gracious fan yelled while Patrick was putting. And I want to talk about the greatness of that moment for that person, why that person is my favorite person now, whoever that guy is. I'll talk about why he's my favorite.
Okay.
But let's do the Manny Millions first, then we'll talk about the playoff and the win.
Okay, so last week's Manny Million at the Century Tournament of Champions, which is actually a par 73. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we talked about that briefly. I haven't had a chance to do any research, but par 73, how often does it happen?
Yeah.
What are the rules? Can we make a par 75? I mean, what are the rules? Can we? I mean, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
But anyway, okay, so this last week.
That was at Kapalua, right?
Kapalua, was the last week winner, first place, last place winner, however you want to look at that, Martin Traynor. He finished plus 18. And because this was the Tournament of Champions, I'm sorry, would you have a guess on this part? He won He got $64,000 for coming in last place.
Okay.
Wow. Well, yeah, it wasn't a big field, right?
Right.
Small
Like 100
field,
and something people, or no?
right. And it was you had to have one in order to play in that from the previous season,
right?
And he actually won the Puerto Rican Open. That's how he got into
that qualified him for this.
For this
Okay.
one, right?
All right.
So Martin, he is 6 foot 175 pounds. He's 28 years old, and he is single, ladies, if you're listening. He was born in France. But he lives in Palo Alto, California. He's a USC graduate of 2013. So, like I said, he got in the tournament by winning the Puerto Rican Open. So I'm gonna give you some stuff about him, and then you can do his career earnings.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Now, just pay attention. I'm trying to help you guys this time.
Now I'm going to look away because the book's open. I can kind of see the numbers. I don't want to hit a Patrick Reed. I don't want to cheat.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm going to look towards the screen.
I'm even going to
here.
guard it with my hand so you can't see if you want to. All right. So again, he was on the. He came out of USC at 2013. So that's not that long ago.
Been a pro for almost 7 years.
Mm-hmm. So he played on the PGA Tour Latino America for 2014.
Okay.
Then he played on the Korn Ferry Tour for 2017.
Huh.
And then the PGA, he got on PGA at 2018.
So last 2 years.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So here we go. He's played in 33 events.
Okay.
He only made 9 cuts.
Okay.
And he only has the one win, which was the what?
Central.
Puerto Rican Open.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm paying attention.
Okay.
Puerto Rican Open.
Okay. All right.
About to lose.
Right. Okay. So he has
9 cuts.
out of those 9 cuts, he
the
has
single
no
win.
second place, no third places, no top 10s, except for the one that he won.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And that's the Puerto Rican Open.
Right.
How much is his career earnings?
My losing answer, because I always lose these, will be 1.5 million.
1.5 million. I'm gonna say 750,000.
Damn, Vern, it's 756,000.
No, are you serious?
The price is right.
A new car.
Good night.
That's why I kept saying the Puerto Rican Open. The
Yeah,
Puerto
yeah,
Rican
yeah,
Open.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
they don't.
Because I missed so badly that last time. I was like, no, I know this is under $1 million. Yeah.
So that's him. A little bit about him. His mother is his father's American. His mother's from France. That's why he speaks French. Now here's where it gets interesting for me, at least. His hobbies include studying sitcoms, riding bikes, and hiking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I saw studying sitcoms, I'm like,
What is this?
You're right. Who studies sitcoms?
Right.
Well, the person who studies sitcoms is a person who might have an idea of wanting to create a golf-centric sitcom.
Oh, so he's got aspirations
He's got
outside
aspirations
of
out
that.
there.
Right,
So
right.
maybe we need to contact him because we have a platform.
We
that
have
would be
plenty of content.
got a lot of material.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got material for you, brother. All
Right,
you need
right,
to do
right.
is write us a check.
Yeah, we'll write, and we'll write for you. We'll write the episodes.
We'll do whatever you need, man.
Yeah.
Just write the check, brother.
And we're going to write Rick McCormick into this show.
Oh, 100%.
absolutely.
There's got to be a Rick McCormick character in this show. Earlier, gosh, I feel like we're gonna. I feel like with the century, we're gonna run out of time in this segment. So why don't we talk about Pete Dye? Passed away, course designer. I didn't know he was as old as he.
Yeah.
You know,
He
what
was
was it,
94.
90, something like that? Yeah, 94.
Yeah.
And so there would, here's one thing that's cool about like the Golf Channel and like Golf Magazine and following these people on social media is that you kind of get how important or the landscape of, golf and things that from architecture and course design that that I would not have known unless it's on a television somewhere on social media because it's something that I just don't research, don't dive.
You're not gonna go look at the life
deep
story.
into. Yeah, absolutely. And kudos to all the folks who were writing about him, reminiscing and sharing what his life was all about. Because I learned a lot about him in golf course.
Yeah. I watched. They had like a 10-minute video, videography, I guess, of Pete. It was pretty interesting. And we have one of his son's courses here locally. Actually, PB died in Frederick. Well, I guess it's Urbana.
Yeah,
Urbana actually. So and even the Sawgrass, the TPC Sawgrass that we're going to be playing, watch the tournament on in March.
Right.
He designed that course. That's one of his masterpieces.
That famous, the island.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. So he did. I forget. I thought I wrote it down, but was it Whistling Straits?
Yes.
Or something up that way.
Yeah.
It's about 4 or 5 courses that are in the tournament in the normal schedule of the PGA are courses that he has designed.
A couple on Hilton Head Island.
Right. The main one on one on Hilton Head that they used for one of the tournaments. He did that one as well. And I've been thinking about this age thing. Well, Vern brought it to full circle with me a couple of weeks ago when he told me people don't think, or you saw, I think, a comedian or something that said, well, people don't look at how many years they have left now. They say you got 15 summers.
This is Deion Cole. Deion Cole says he'll tell people, it's like, hey, you got 10 summers left.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, when you put it that way, it's different. But yeah.
Yeah. And he was 94. Yes. So, hopefully we all can make it that long.
And he got like full value.
Exactly. Yeah. And he wasn't.
You're right. Whistling, he did do whistling straights.
Right. And he wasn't, at that age, he was still up and around and doing stuff. And,
really?
And,
that's what's important to me.
Right,
like,
exactly.
True.
If I'm going to get 90, 95, I don't want to be in somebody's chair or bed and just laying around and looking out the window. You know what I mean?
No quality of life.
Yeah. That's a tough way to spend, a few years before. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Not that I'm saying if I'm like that, end it. I'm just, it's just.
Got it. Cool.
That's tough.
Kill order from Claude.
It's just that's tough. You know what I mean? For that to be, your life.
Yeah, yeah. But he seemed to be healthy, and it was just time that got him. It wasn't some crippling illness or whatever. Whatever. So that's something to be happy for him. I don't know how his family feels about it, but
successful life in golf.
Oh, absolutely. And they didn't want for anything. That's for sure.
No.
Right.
So, and he left, and his kids are still, like PB is still designing courses as well. So, this the family. It is the family business now.
Yep.
So
nice. Good for them. Good for them. Did you have anything on PB?
Nope. All that's great.
So real quick before we get out of the segment, there's some Corn Ferry Tour stuff you wanted to hit, LB. And by the way, a popular segment with some of the listeners too. They like you bringing up the Corn Ferry stuff. Yeah. Gotta admit, I laughed about it when you first started talking about it a few episodes ago, but it's popular.
I had to look it up as he was speaking about it.
It's like Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what the internet says about it.
Well, the Corn Ferry Tour, their season's about to kick off. And it's January 12th to the 15th. Their first term is called the Bahama Great Exuma Classic at Sandals Emerald Bay.
Okay.
Wow.
Right. Sandals Resort.
Yep.
Right. So the course is designed by Greg Norman. It's a 7,100 par 72 course. A couple of things that just stuck out to me when I saw the title and I looked it up. And Coach B can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when Maria and Glenn were getting married and decided that they were going to get married at a Sandals resort, I believe Coach was hoping. I don't think he told them that she might want to go to this one,
right.
But I think he secretly, or if he didn't tell them that he wanted them to, he secretly wanted them.
He told them now,
right? I guess I should ask Coach before I put his business out.
No, that's all right.
Hey, before we release this podcast,
but yeah, he was hoping that they would have picked this particular Sandals resort. I believe it's pretty new. From what I can see in the pictures, it was beautiful.
Right.
And that part of the Bahamas is nice
really
as well.
Nice. Okay. We could have got to play
course.
on this.
We would have been playing that course as opposed to the course we played in Jamaica.
Right.
So the other part of that, this is something that you all, I'm sure, don't know, is that Exuma Sound, that's where the Navy does research.
Oh.
Because there's a trench basically that runs between some of the islands that goes down to 6,000 feet.
Is that the Mariana Trench?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's called Great Exuma Sound.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Wow. I didn't know.
Well,
that.
I knew that because I used to do submarine research data analysis.
Oh, for the test they were doing out there.
Yeah, and that's where that data would come from. That's where they would test the submarines in that area. We would get the data, process it, and that's how I met Mrs. Brooks, processing data for the submarines.
Oh, look at that.
How about that?
Nice.
See, full circle.
It all comes
full circle.
We'll be back full circle with more Talk on Golf DMV, brought to you in part by Cache Spine Sports, the website CacheSpineSports.com.